guys, and welcome to my channel and today's middle splits blast. This class will challenge the hip mobility and flexibility in a shorter space of time. We will need 2 blocks. Enjoy the class. So we'll take one of our blocks and start making your way lying down on our backs. Bring the blocks underneath the outer edges of your feet as you let your knees drop out to the side. Bring your palms on either side of the hips and just let your eyes to close down. Gently press the lower back to the floor and with your eyes closed, just focusing on how the hips are feeling, how the inner thighs are feeling. And start slowing down your breaths. Start taking a deep long inhales through the nose. And as you exhale, let your body soften and let your thighs to be just a little bit heavier. Take one last breath here. Gently guiding the lower back to the floor as you squeeze into the glutes. And on the exhale, we soften just a little bit more. Perfect. From here, press the palms towards the floor as you just gently rock from side to side. Massaging the lower back, creating more of a space around the inner thighs, inner groin muscles. Throughout the class, just be mindful and listen to your own body. Cool. Let's bring the rocking into the stillness as you press the outer edges of your feet onto the block. And your palms onto the floor as you start keeling the spine off the floor. Come up nice and high. Keep your knees wide open. Press the back of your neck onto the floor as you start creating a tiny pulses here. Let's go up for 10. Squeeze. 9. Knees wide open. 8 and 7. Last 6. We go for 5 and 4. A little bit higher for 3 and 2. Last one. Slowly bring the spine back onto the floor, one vertebra at a time. And then bring your elbows onto the inside of your knees. Flex through the feet and either holding onto the outer edges of your feet or the lower part of your legs, wherever you can reach. Start driving the knees all the way down towards the floor as you start rocking from side to side again. Massaging the lower back, calming the nerves, calming the mind, calming the body. From here, start bringing your left heel all the way towards your pelvis as you start stretch out through the right leg. No need to go completely straight. We're just warming up the body. Inhale through the center, your right heel comes towards your pelvis as you stretch out or try to stretch out and strengthen through the left leg. So just keep going from one side to another, noticing how the hips are feeling. See if you can find a deeper release every time you stretch out through those legs. Again, never going into the limits, just honoring what we have. You can repeat the class anytime you need, how many times you can throughout the week, and watch the improvements. One more time on each side. And bring everything back through the center where the soles of your feet to come together and find the block again with the outer edges of your feet. Readjust where needed, press the lower back to the floor, palms towards the floor. Now we need to peel the spine up again, one vertebra at a time as you come just a little bit higher. From here, bring your inner knees as close as they go towards one another. Squeeze your inner thighs together and then open. So the hips to stay nice and high, we just close the thighs and open. Try to bring the knees as close as they go towards one another and then open. Keep the hips nice and high, we close. And open. 3 to go. We close. And open. Last 2. We close. And open. On the last one, we keep your inner thighs nice and close towards one another. Pulse here. 10. Hips higher. 9. A little bit higher. 7. And 6. Last 5. And 4. And 3. Last 2. Can we go just a little bit higher for the last one? And then let the knees to drop out to the side as you go one vertebra at a time, all the way down. Back into the happy baby pose, and this time I want you to take the inner arches of your feet, if we can grab it. Drive your knees towards the floor and start stretching out through both of your legs. No need to go completely straight. Maybe keep your knees slightly bent if that's your limit and where you feel comfortable going. Otherwise, come with me as we go completely straight with those legs and then rock from side to side. From here, if you can't reach those feet, you can take the hands and place them onto the calves or onto the inner thighs. As you firmly press the lower back to the floor. For now, bring the working into the stillness and bring your palms down towards the floor. Point your toes as strongly as you can as you start pulsing here. Legs wide open, lower back to the floor. Try to fully extend through those legs and feel those muscles firing up. We go for 10 and 9 and 8. Last 7 and 6 and 5. Let's go make it a little bit bigger for 4 and 3 and 2. Last one. Lovely work. Bending to those knees. Take the back of your thighs as you rock up to sit. Perfect. Come into a comfortable seated position where I want you to have your legs nice and wide. So we try to create a little upside down froggy pose where the legs are in a 90-degree position. Hands behind us as you strongly drive your knees away from one another, flexing through the feet, lift that chest. Keep both of your sitting bones pressing to the floor as we start rotating into the right hip. The right inner knee starts slowly dropping towards the floor, but keep your right hip glued down. Going to as low as you can go with it as soon as you start feeling the sensation and that internal rotation happening in the hip. That's where we want to pulse. So we need to feel the strength, feel the rotation as you drive the inner knee nice and close towards the floor. Let's go back through the center. Knees wide open, lift that chest, inhale. And on the exhale now, your left inner knee. Go slow, go easy. Find your end range and pause there as you squeeze into the muscles surrounding the inner thigh all the way down. Keep pressing the left hip bone to the floor, the left sitting bone down. Open up into the chest more. We are here just for one big breath, strongly flexing through the foot. Your knee could be here, absolutely fine. Just finding your end range and breathe into it. Bring it back through the center, knees to go wide open. Squeeze those shoulder blades together, squeeze into the glutes. And this time, strong internal rotation as both of your knees to try to find one another. Squeeze them in. There could be a little gap, absolutely fine. If you haven't got the space between the knees, maybe create it. As I want you to go into the end range and again, using the muscles to improve the end range. Imagine you have an orange between your knees and you try to squeeze the orange in. Lifting through the chest, strongly squeezing it all the way for 3 and 2. Last one. Well done. Knees to go wide open and then bring the soles of your feet together into a butterfly sit. Let the knees to fall wide open, lean forward, keeping the spine nice and straight. If your knees are quite high up today, maybe use your forearms to help you to guide your thighs wider. I want you to press the thighs to the floor, keep your heart lifted and then release. We squeeze, release. You can hold onto your ankles, hold onto your feet, whatever works for you. Keep going, squeeze. Release, waking up those muscles, squeeze, release, strongly work them, 3 to go, release, we squeeze, release for last one, keep dropping the knees wide open, holding it for 3, 4, 2, and 1, perfect. Start taking the left leg back. And we need to come into a little 90-degree position where the front leg, which is your right leg, is in a 90 degrees and the back leg in a 90 degrees. So the knee is in line with the back hip. Start with the hands behind us now. Keep lifting through the chest. You're more than welcome now to sit on the block if this position is not for you or you're feeling like your body is tilting out to the side. So fingertips lightly touching the floor. Pick up your back knee off the floor without moving into your body. So keep everything nice and still. Lift the knee as high as you can. Again, looking for the end range. Pause there to work those muscles. And then bring the knee in as we lift the back foot. And again, try not to lean forward in order to lift that foot. It might not lift at the moment, that's fine. We'll work on it with time and practice. So let's go knee. Let's go foot. Flex that back foot. 3 to go. And foot. We go for 2. And lift the foot, last one. We go knee up. We go foot up. Perfect. Now pick up the whole leg off the floor. Lift it up. And bring your right ankle on the left ankle on the top of your right. Having shins on the top of one another as you strongly flex through the feet and making sure the anchorage of your left foot is not on your knee or on your thigh, right out of it, so the ankle can move freely. Pressing the left knee on the top of your right heel, the shins on the top of one another, and you can stay with the hands behind you. This is quite a strong pose, so maybe stay here today. Or start walking your hands at the front, all the way forward, driving the sitting bones and those thighs to the floor. Soften into your elbows as you start taking a chin towards your chest, maybe finding a deeper fold. Pause where you start feeling the sensation, probably feeling that already. Hold here, we are here for one last breath. Taking a full breath in through the nose, lengthen just a little bit more. And completely let go and soften as you exhale. Perfect. Start walking those hands back, slowly out of the shake. If you like this pose, maybe pause the video and hold there for a little bit longer. Other side. So 90-degree position. Front leg, 90 degrees. Front shin parallel to the front of your mat, thigh parallel to the side of your mat. Back leg, back knee in line with that hip. Start with the hands on either side of your left leg. Flex through both of your feet, and without moving any other part of your body, try to pick up the back knee off the floor. Flex through the foot. Bring it down as we lift the back foot off the floor. Nothing too high. Doesn't matter how high the knee or your foot is going. I want you to feel the engagement of the muscles surrounding the hip joint. Foot and knee. One side might feel a little bit easier than the other. Or knee can go a little bit higher than what it was on the other side. Absolutely fine, absolutely normal. Keep going. Hardly any weight in your hands. Maybe even lift those hands off the floor if that's something that you feel comfortable going. 3 to go, we go knee. And foot. 2 more, we go knee. Pick up that foot, we go last one, knee. Pick up that foot, lovely work. Maybe try not to use your hands for the next transition, as the right ankle will find the left thigh. You can use your hands to readjust, flexing strongly through both of your feet and find both of your sitting bones to sit on. Maybe with the hands behind us. Lift the chest, and maybe this is the shape that you actually enjoy and you can hold in a comfortable place. Pause here, noticing your alignment, your sensation, your breath, and really send your breath to where you feel it the most. Probably the outer hips, the glutes, maybe the lower part of the spine. From here, start walking those hands forwards, if that's something that you can do. And soften into your shoulders, soften into your gaze. Continue to walk those hands all the way forwards. Tuck your chin towards your chest, bring a bit of heaviness into the shoulders. Running through the upper back as you really breathe in. And breathe out, deep, long breaths. Last 2 big breaths. Maybe crawl those fingers third and forwards. Inhaling. Full breath out. Last breath. And release. Start walking your hands back in towards your shins. Hands behind you as you take your feet out wide. Flexing through them, and then use your hands to help you to lift the bum off the floor. We should end up in a low squat. Try not to use your hands, bit of a movement with your feet from one side to another, rolling throughout the reaches of your feet, taking the knees back as far back as they go. Cool. Keep those hands at the front of your chest. Try to find a balance as you're driving the heels towards the floor and lengthen through the crown of your head. Your tailbone is pointed down towards the floor and slightly forward. I want you to use the strength of your thighs as you press the soles of your feet to the floor. Try not to lean forward. Imagine there's a wall behind you as we slide up that wall. Go slow, absolutely no rush. Keep your knees wide open. Come all the way up into the stance and then take your feet just a little bit wider. We're coming into the goddess squat. So I want you to tuck your tailbone under. Hands at the front of your chest as you sit low. Knees wide open. I want most of your weight to be on the outer edges of your feet as you start pulsing back. We go back with the knees to what is now the space behind us. Send those knees back. Tuck your tailbone under, shoulders over your hips. Let's sit down a little bit deeper and lower. Keep going for 10. Stay low. 9 and 8 and 7. Knees further back. Tailbone under. 5 to go. 4 and 3 and 2. Last one. Keep the knees wide open as we start. Bringing the forearms to the top of your thighs. And again, a bit of a rocking from side to side. Always finding a space around the hip joint. Moving. Rocking from side to side, perhaps sink lower. And again, we're keeping the chest wide open, and now use your forearms to guide the thighs to go wider. Find a strength in your thighs, bring the rocking into the stillness. Strongly press the soles of your feet to the floor as you lift the forearms away from your thighs. Let's pause, tiny pulses. Keep Keep your chest lifted, so try not to look down or lean forward. Head up nice and high, tiny pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 to go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done, palms to the floor. Flatten out through the spine and now sending the hips up. Go as high as you go with the hips as you keep your spine straight. So you might not be able to straighten out those legs fully, that's fine. I want you to keep the spine straight. Let's go 2 more. Inhale, bend those knees, go nice and low. Flatten out through the back. And on the exhale, start sending the sitting bones up to the sky. Keeping the spine long. And again, inhale, we bend. Send the sitting bones nice and low and close to the floor. And then we extend. Keep the turn out in your feet. Last one, we bend. Come nice and low with those sitting bones. And on the exhale, fully extend through those legs. This time, fall a little heavier. Maybe round through the upper back, chin towards your chest. Bit of a movement through the head from side to side. Keep setting your sitting bones up and notice the stretch through the back of your legs. Perfect. From here, just heel toes your feet closer towards one another as you're coming into on our knees. Coming into the tabletop. I would highly recommend maybe a little blanket or pillow underneath your knees for a support. And make sure you have some space for your left leg to extend out to the side. So strong tabletop, shoulders over your wrists. Lean forward, press the tops of your feet to the floor to start with. Bring your belly in towards the spine, strong foundation. Your left knee to stay bent as you lift the left knee out to the side, but don't collapse into the side, don't bend your elbows. Keep it nice and controlled and strong. Bring your left knee a little bit closer towards your left shoulder and just a little bit higher. Hold what you have as you just extend the left leg out to the side. We bend. We lower, we lift, we extend. 2 more, knee to shoulder, bring it nice and close. Lower, knee to shoulder, extend. 2 more, knee to shoulder. We bend, knee to shoulder, extend. Last one, knee to shoulder. We release down, knee to shoulder. Hold as you extend. Keep your left leg straight. Tap the floor with a toe in the same line as your right knee. Pick it up. 2 more. We lower. We lift. Last one. We lower. We hold it up for 3, 2, 1, and down. Lovely work. Start heels on your feet out to the sides. We're coming into the half frog, half middle split. So I want you to flex your right foot. The right knee slides out to the side, and now here where you might need the blocks. So I want you to slide as far out to the side as you can. Keep your arms straight. Sinking the hips low as you want to bring the pubic bone towards your hands. And stay here. Like I said, you're more than welcome now to grab the blocks. If you need to go a little bit higher, do use those blocks. I want you to look at your left foot. Point the toes. Strongly flex through the right foot. Slide the toes of your left foot in, so we're flexing that foot. And now lift the toes up. So we're going from internal rotation of the hip to little external rotation as you guide your pubic bone closer towards the floor and towards your blocks. Or your hands, if you are just using the floor. Drive your heel further out to the side. Keep sinking nice and low. Take a full breath in through the nose, expanding into the chest. Sinking low as we exhale. One last breath. Relax the facial muscles, relax into those shoulders. And then release. We go same way out of it. Heel toes, so nice and soft. Safe, please go slow out of these big shapes. And then release. Well done, straight onto the other side. So make sure you have some space on for right leg to extend. Shuffle, shuffle, let's go. Tabletop. Press the palms to the floor. Pay attention to your arms. Make sure we're not bending into the elbows or collapsing onto one side. So, the right knee go all the way up towards the right shoulder. And I want you to bring it closer. So try not to drive your leg back all the way in. Extend. We bend. We lower. Keep going. Knee up. Extend. We bend. Bring it down. 3 more. Knee up. Knee to shoulder. Straighten the out to the side. Bend. Bring it down. 2 more. Knee up. Leg straight. Knee bent. Bring it down. Last one, knee up. We know what's coming. Keep legs straight, hold. Tap the toes to the floor gently, lightly. Lift up. Let's go higher. 2 more. We go down. And up. Last one, we're going to keep the leg up nice and high. So tap the floor. Hold it up. 4, 3, 4, 2, and 1. Well done. Slowly and easy, shuffle the right foot out to the side. Flex your left foot as we're coming into the half rock, half in the split. Do use your blocks in here. Start walking those hands in. And first we start with the toes pointing forward. So we roll the hip forwards. Open up into your chest and just notice that sensation. Maybe gentle rock forward and back. Go into your lowest position where you can still breathe and enjoy that sensation. Have a look at your right foot as you send the toes forward, strongly flexing, and then turn so the toes will point up to the ceiling. You might find that actually you can go a little bit lower. Slightly different sensation. Perhaps rock forward and back here. Keep using those blocks if that's something that you would prefer. Last 3 breaths. Try not to hold in a stillness. We're creating those micro adjustments with each breath. Finding more length on the inhale. Send those hips forward. Sinking lower as we exhale. One last breath. And then release. We go same way out of it. Heel, toes, all the way back in. Well done. Now I would like you to take your 2 blocks and place your 2 blocks underneath your knees. If you are working with very tight hips, maybe skip the blocks, but using the blocks will help you to readjust a little bit more easy as you can just slide the knees out to the side using those blocks. So flex your feet. We are in a full front pose. We're keeping the arms nice and straight. I want you to guide your hips to go back. Open up into the chest. We are here just for 1 breath as you send the hips as far back as they go. Lift through the heart center. And keep the spine nice and tall as you come onto your forearms. Bring the forearms all the way down towards the floor. Rocking forward and back. Keep breathing. So nice, guys. So you can stay here. Or see if you can find more internal rotation by start sending the left heel up to the ceiling. Bring it down. Right heel up to the ceiling. Bring it down one more time. If you find it's too challenging, just stay in that little froggy. Enjoy that shape. And right foot to the floor up. Bring it down. Lovely work. Set your back further back. Keep breathing into the sensation. And then release. 1 knee at a time, away from those blocks. As you come into a kneeling position, push the blocks out of the way. We will need them in a minute as you come into a seated position. Full straddle. So start stretching out those legs out to the sides. Flex through the feet as you press the back of your knees and the back of your thighs to the floor. Keep your shoulders over your hips as you start tilting forward from the pelvis. From here, start sliding your left hand down your left thigh as your right arm reaches up and over and really expand through the right side of your body and press the right sitting bone down. Roll the ribcage up. Back through the center on the inhale, slide your right hand down your right leg. Press the left sitting bone to the floor as you roll the ribcage up. Find a big stretch through that left side. Come back through the center, hands on your hips. Start creating those little tilts. I want you to roll forward and back through the sitting bones. Couple more. Take the legs wide if that's available to you as we're coming into the full pancake. So from here, I want you to focus on the pelvis. The pelvis is tilting forwards. The rest of the spine is following that tilt. Belly button to come nice and close towards the floor. Keep flexing through the feet. Drive the back of your knees and the back of your thighs to the floor. Let's go lower. Pressing the sitting bones back and down. Keep the spine long and you might be able to, one day, find the belly, find the chest, maybe find the forehead down to the floor. Check your feet, check in the strength, drive your heels away from you, maybe take the legs just a little bit wider. Last 3 breaths. Finding again your comfortable place. Driving the heels away from one another, pressing the thighs to the floor. One last breath. and release. Start making your way out of the shape. Bring those legs together as you give them a bit of a shake on the way in. Let's go, full middle splits. So, take your 2 blocks. Start with the 2 blocks. I mean, if that's comfortable for you, you can always drop onto your hands. I will just start with the blocks. So while leg is down, we go nice and slow to start with as you start taking your legs out to the side. And I want your blocks to be nice and close towards your pelvis. Same as with the half variation, I want you to keep your chest wide open and maybe readjusting those blocks. Pelvis towards your wrist or towards the blocks. Head up nice and high, start sliding. Hips forward, really strong through the thighs. Press the thighs towards the floor, open up into your chest. If you're here, you might be able to find the floor with the palms. Same applies here. Hips forwards and nice and straight. Keep sliding, keep sliding, keep sliding. Open up into the chest. Keep lifting through the heart center. Maybe press the fingers to the floor. Lots of activation through the thighs. Keeping the chest wide open. Maybe to come onto your forearms to find a different sensation. 5 breaths. So I want you to find your position. Close down the eyes and really breathe into it. This is a strong shape, strong pose. Last 3 breaths. Open up into the chest. You can take the exhales out through the mouth. We have last 2 breaths in. Breathe out. Last one, inhale. Full breath out. Well done, everyone. Start rolling back, coming out of it from a straddle, from a pancake. As you just shake out those legs, you can use the hands if the legs suddenly went dead. As you slowly coming out of it, shaking out those legs. Well done. Little quick and fast internal external rotation, nothing too big, just nice and slow, nice and easy, just to reset and readjust your hips so they come back into the neutral. And come into a cross-legged seat. Place the palms on the top of your thighs and start creating the circle motions. Thank you all so much for joining me for this class. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, comment below. If you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more free videos. I'll be looking forward to stretching with you very soon. Bye guys, thank you.